Alright. Welcome to the show, welcome to the show, welcome to the show. And in this video, we're going to review Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 9. And in this episode, we just going to call this Little Dogs Always Yapping Until the Big Dogs Put Them Paws on Them. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the oil and somebody about to get splattered, if you know what I'm saying. So, let's get into it. Okay, so we start out with Mia getting prepped up for meeting with her estranged mom, who's been fighting drug addiction since Mia was a child. And then over to Wendy and her husband Eddie. Well, they discuss what happened in Williamsburg, and he pretty much says, you know, this drama you got between the ladies it's all you, and y'all need to keep me out of it, for real. But for whatever reason, he married Wendy against the wishes of his own mother, and he's saying that he sacrificed a lot to be with her, so he ain't trying to go out based on some crazy cheating rumor about some side baby and side bitches, but she need to check her girls in her circle. And now we go over to Giselle and Wendy. They're working on their podcast called Reasonably Shady, and that's a fitting name, of course. But it's funny that they talking about cheating and accusations of cheating, and Giselle wanted to know, if a man cheats once, will he do it again? Well, she's got all the proof she needs in her own experience. I mean, no research needed there. I mean, just look in your backyard. All them skeletons. But, she found out some statistic that there's a 350% chance that a man will cheat again. And yeah, that seemed to be in alignment with her own life. Not just 2 years ago when the public found out. So, Jamal pretty much screwed it up for anybody trying to date Giselle. I'm just going to say that. But also, Robin came up with her epiphany that she's at the point to where she can just walk away from whatever doesn't serve her. I mean, she won't even be pressed if Juan actually doesn't marry her. And her and Giselle both seem to be in that space where, they don't have any trouble pointing out everybody else's dysfunction because they got so much of their own. I mean, they know when it's happening. So in a weird way, they may be trying to actually help other people, but they just got a messed up way of going about it. You know what I'm saying? And well, it's always good to be able to come to these realizations when you're older instead of, being young, dumb, and full of... So anyway, Candace and Chris. So right off, they are discussing what happened in Williamsburg and the comment that Giselle made regarding her and Chris's relationship. Giselle is pretty much insinuating that Chris is basically a bum who isn't using his white privilege to the best of his ability. But wait, he doesn't work, he's married to a hot black chick, and he's living in a $1.1 million house that his mother-in-law bought. Well, I'd say he's doing just fine. But, Candace just didn't get the cream of the crop white man. She got a different version. But, this, of course, causes some disruption in the force. Now that he's been called out from what she obviously has been thinking too. He's in defense mode. He's tired of the green-eyed monsters. But, he can't really be mad because he's not pulling off that provider leadership role. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like Candace is not ever respecting this dude. I mean, he's playing a manager husband role that all men with talented wives play who ain't working. Giselle is right though. He better do something to bring in the bag before Candace regrets him. Then his free ride is over. And she comes back to the community looking for a brother. And as she says, her magical ebony and ivory love story is going to end in shambles. But she's going to protect him to no when. She needs to take a page out of Eve's book or Serena's book, because she needs to get her a white man that's white. And Candace is real reckless at the mouth. When it comes to Ashley especially, man, she got all like the forehead and breast milk jokes off camera. Obviously, she's jealous because Ashley is actually married to a white man who benefits off his white skin to the fullest. I mean, she did it right. He's loaded and he's knocking her up yearly. bravo, you know what I'm saying? Like, what man wouldn't want a woman with a big forehead and boobs? I'm just saying, Candace doesn't realize that these so-called insults are really good things to have. I mean, they not an issue, but that's a different subject for a different video. And let's see, Robin talks about getting a licensed life coach, and I won't knock that. Oh, and Mia meets her mom at lunch finally. She just got out of rehab, and this story isn't an isolated one in Baltimore. I know plenty of people in the same situation, so I kind of feel for her. Her and her mom are disconnected, and a lot stems from the fact that Mia reminds her mom of her dad, who was a drug abuser and an all-around abuser. So this meeting is in order to help her heal, well, help both of them heal, mother and daughter. And it makes Mia kind of look more like a human being behind all that plastic. And just as soon as I feel sorry for Mia, she starts instigating some mess by telling Wendy and Karen that Giselle is throwing Robin a surprise birthday party and they aren't invited. She's just into everybody's business. She takes it as her job to tell people what everybody should do and that they shouldn't be talking about each other behind their back, simultaneously talking about people in front of them behind their back. She's like, no one should ever be talking about people behind their backs, but she does the same thing. But I don't know, so Wendy understands that, but Karen is still looking for an apology from Giselle about this so-called wishing death on her husband. Robin doesn't like Karen anyway, so she really need to be glad that she ain't invited. But it's funny that I guess the way to hurt people in this show is to have a party and don't invite the person you don't like, and they gonna really get in their feelings and be hurt. But I guess the majority of women take the indirect route in these situations. Anyway, now we back to Chris and Candace, and yeah, they got into it at this restaurant. This was supposed to be a nice luncheon. Like I said, women don't respect a man who's not on his grind or providing or taking charge of the projects that he said he'd do. He's not really working in his career. He agreed to take the role of manager, and he's not holding up his part. Candace is now starting to think maybe he is riding her coattails, like Giselle said. But he's getting a free ride, basically. He's not even showing up to half of her projects because he wants to go golfing. But, right now she's the boss. He's working for her, and a man should never find himself in this predicament. He's acting like he can't do both, even though he volunteered to do it. So now he has to stand on it. She gets spicy and she gets heated. She goes off on him right there at the lunch. She told him to check his attitude because she will cuss him the fuck out. Damn. And to top it off, he leaves. and then he leaves her with the check too. I mean, respect level is decreased exponentially. He's never gonna hit that without a condom, ever. Because you gotta watch the seasons. Anyway, so the ladies are at this birthday party luncheon for Robin, all except Wendy and Karen. Right off, you see Candace showing love to everybody except Ashley. So the food and drinks, they flowing, everybody getting their drinks in them. And the subject comes up about what happened in Williamsburg again, and everything with the fight between Wendy and Robin and Wendy and Giselle. And this is when all hell broke loose. So Ashley gets checked by everybody pretty much for, bringing up the gossip site and the alleged rumors about Wendy's husband. I mean, even a scholar got at Ashley about, putting sauce on it. And then here comes Candace. I mean, just like a chihuahua, she steps in, she starts calling Ashley, all kinds of milk maidens, and since she's lactating, that's wrong, but Ashley even admitted that she was kind of messy, but Candace just keeps going on and on. She keeps going in on Ashley, she's just jealous, jealous of her, having a baby and all this stuff. She's just going crazy with the baby weight jokes, and she was calling Ashley all kinds of hoes and big forehead, milkmaid and wenches, and Candace is just reckless at the mouth. I mean, she still hasn't learned from that season when Monique whooped her ass. You know what I'm saying? And I think Ashley is gonna stomp her once she gets, to her point. She gonna beat the brakes off Candace. I just know these things. Like, I could tell she gonna get so far in a corner and she just gonna come out swinging. And Candace is gonna be just dirt. And that's a wrap. And that's it for my review of Real Housewives of the Potomac, Season 6, Episode 9. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And please hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. And I'll see y'all back here next week for my review of Episode 9. Peace.